Mr. Hobby PS-270. I'm going to do a breakdown and put together in case you ever need to service, deep clean, or maintenance this thing. So the first thing I noticed is the coupler on the bottom. This is for aerosol supplied canned air kits. So if you remove that, any standard 1/8 fitting will fit here. There is a protective cover on the front as well during shipping. I guess I'll start with the back end of the brush by removing the fluid control knob. Depending where you set this will determine how far back you can move this trigger. You can unscrew that from the handle or the whole handle itself, whichever you prefer. This will expose the needle and the needle chuck screw. While that's tight, that needle should move with the brush itself. If it's not, then that needle shouldn't move at all. So once you loosen that, you can go ahead and take the needle out. Now the screw. This is also a tension screw for your travel of the trigger. Depending where you set that will determine how much tension on that trigger you have. I'll just remove all these components together. So once you remove that, you'll have access to the needle chuck, that needle spring, and that whole guide itself. Now you can remove the trigger, and this will give you access to that packing screw inside the body. If you ever get paint back here towards your finger, this is usually the result and cause of that. So just get a maintenance screw in there. Once you feel a little click, just start turning it counterclockwise till you get it out of there. Once it's loose enough, it usually comes with this package. Usually comes with the screw. This time I didn't get it all together. I'll just put it right back on my tool for reinstallation. So now that that's out, it's a good time to do the air valve. So just get another maintenance tool and grab those teeth on the bottom and turn them counterclockwise so you can get that out of there. Now be careful, because once that screw is out of there, the spring can pop off as well as that plunger. It's only these three pieces inside there. Once that's out, I'll move on to the front of the brush. You can just remove your fluid reservoir cover. There's a MAC valve on the bottom here for a little bit more precision air control. Just remove that easily. And now it's time for the front end. There's a protective crown cap here for your exposed needle. Now the air cap itself, exposing the nozzle. Now there is a little nozzle wrench provided, but I do recommend getting the GSI maintenance kit or one of the better nozzle tools so you don't break these. These are very easily damaged, especially when paint dries up on the inside of there. So don't over torque it or go too far. They shear right off very easily. So give that a little turn and it pops right off. Now the last thing is the head unit here. I just have some anti-marring pliers, a little spin, and that usually comes right off. This is all one assembly here. There is one other thing inside the body here, and that's that little black O-ring in there. Sometimes you need to change that. And that's the breakdown of the PS-270. Now for reinstallation, it's just in backwards order, whichever way you prefer. I do like to kind of lay my parts out, how I took it apart and unassembled it, just so I kind of know if it's my first time where everything kind of goes. Or if you're not too familiar with it, it might help you out some. So I guess in this case, I'll put the front end back together. I'll grab my head unit. I'll put the nozzle back on it. You can usually do this by hand, even though it's fairly small. Give it a slight turn just to tighten it down, not much at all. Just metal to metal. Now I can take my air cap, put that on, and the protective cover. Now reinstalling it on the front of the body is fairly easy. Just a little counterclockwise turn, and then tighten it up till it's tight. Another little extra spin, and you should be good to go. Now the mag valve on the front, take note there is a little O-ring on the bottom here as well. Screw that back on, make sure it's fairly tight, and you're all set there. Now I'll take my packing screw and put it back inside the body. Just go in there, another counterclockwise, and tighten it up. You don't want to over tighten it either, just a little bit is usually enough. You want enough tension on that seal to block the paint from going into the back, but not enough where that needle doesn't flow freely. Now grab your trigger with the lever on the bottom, and do take note of this indentation on the back. You want that facing towards the back of the brush so that trigger has free flow of travel completely all the way through. Just get that shaft inside the body there. And now I can move on to the needle chuck assembly. I have my needle chuck. The spring just goes on the back of the shaft. Now I can put this back into the body, resting the skinnier part of the two facing upwards towards that trigger. Just rest that there for a minute, and now you can put on your guide. Set that wherever you want it, and now you can put the needle chuck on the end of that screw. Just put it on, but not completely. You need to put the needle in first, and I like to put the needle chuck on because it's less likely that you damage the needle when you put it back in. Push that in till you feel it stop, and then that's good enough. Make sure your trigger and needle is flowing freely, and you're all set to finish assembly. Put the handle back on the back, and your fluid control knob, and the air valve components. So for this, there is two lengths to this shaft. The shorter part goes in first. So just put that in the bottom of the body. Now you can put the spring on over that shaft. And your assembly tool to put that brass screw back on. Try to grab that plunger there and lock it into place. Now just make sure that piston is moving freely and everything feels good. And there's your disassembly and reassembly of your PS-270. We hope you enjoy your new purchase, and pick one up here at spraygunner.com if you haven't already.